February 5th, 2024 is the day that I first got confirmation that the Bio Protocol Bio token would be launching. Now, almost an entire year later, on January 3rd, 2025, we are going to see the largest decentralized science project launch a token that we have ever seen in this market. To give you a scale, we are looking at a market cap for the entire DeSci industry of $1.15 billion. The Bio Protocol launch is looking like it's going to be roughly a $3 billion total fully diluted market cap. What's going on, everyone? We're going to talk about decentralized science, of course, but more specifically the Bio Protocol launch that is supposed to happen tomorrow, January 3rd, 2025. We're going to go through an overview so that you guys understand what it is we're actually talking about when we're talking about this giant project launching, why it's generating so much hype, why did Binance Labs invest into it, why is it literally acting as rocket fuel, or as Paul, one of the co-founders of Bio, said, the Cambodian expansion of decentralized science. So first up, I want to start off here with a post that was made recently showcasing different narratives within crypto and their total mind share, i.e. the social attention that each one is getting from the start of 2024 until the end of 2024. And we'll see things like AI go crazy at 116% gain in market share, or not market share, but mind share. We saw memes go up 11% in mind share. We saw DeFi going down. We saw GameFi going down by 40%, which is pretty crazy. We saw the excitement behind ETFs faded down 63%. But if you'll notice one thing very, very specifically here, we see that decentralized science gained 2,640% in people's mind share over the course of 2024. Now, most of that came in the very beginning of 2024 and now here at the very end of 2024. The summer was pretty lull. No one was really talking about anything, but we were still here. The community of those investors, the DeSci shillers, us, you guys watching this video, we have been here the whole time because this entire page is dedicated to explaining decentralized science, showcasing all the important things that you need to be paying attention to in the crypto market as it pertains to decentralized science. And we got to ride the wave of this 2,600% increase. And I think it is just beginning. This is just beginning. You can see it's only making up 1.37% of the mind share. This has got a lot more room to run in 2025. A lot of that in thanks to Bio. And we're going to start talking about that here. I'm going to go through it a little bit more uniquely here than I have with other videos explaining Bio, in which I'm not just going to read you some documents. I'm going to go through a couple posts people have made, which just showcase the attention that it is actually getting. So this one is directly from Bio, but I'm a big fan of it.
For the public to participate in how science is funded and then ultimately how science is governed. Bio, which is a curation and liquidity engine for on-chain scientific communities. The overlying goal is really to create new community-centric launchpads, enable groups of scientists, patients, enthusiasts to come together and begin building new types of research organizations in specific fields. That's one of the powers of DeSci, building collaborative open frameworks. Blending DeFi and DeSci together. DeFi stands for decentralized finance, was one of the first big use cases that we've seen in the crypto space. We colloquially call this new category, which is science finance or sci-fi.
The generation of sci-fi. Sci-fi has now become a reality thanks to liquid science. In part, thanks to Bio Protocol. There are a lot of players in this field, but we're focused in here on Bio Protocol. The music choice, amazing. Paul, who was talking in that, he is a big fan of raves. Bio Protocol actually has sponsored multiple raves, believe it or not. So you can have fun while also conducting on-chain science. So very exciting to just put this into fruition and actually see the future of DeSci expanding right in front of our eyes. One thing that I've said many, many times is that decentralized science, I honestly view as the pinnacle use case for crypto and blockchain technology. All the other narratives we have, AI, decentralized finance, decentralized physical infrastructure, memes, they're all little legs that are built to support DeSci, real world assets, the tokenization of real world assets, I should say. All of these narratives that have emerged over the last 15 years after Bitcoin's creation, these are all components that when put together yield decentralized science. So without any of them, you have a wobbly table. With just one, you're standing on a pogo stick. You need all of these narratives to come together to create decentralized science. It is the pinnacle use case. Now, that's not just me thinking it either, to be completely honest. One of the things that we saw earlier this year, and I should pull this up, I should have already pulled it up, it was just a couple months ago, we saw Binance announce that they were going to be getting involved in decentralized science through investing into bioprotocol. Now, they invested an undisclosed amount, but Binance Labs, if you're not familiar with it, was something that CZ was running. Now he's no longer allowed to be involved in it, but I'm sure he's involved on the side of everything there that's going on. But CZ, when he got out of jail a couple months ago, he said very specifically, very clearly, that there were only 3 things that he was investing into. And I'm having a hard time pulling up this tweet, so you guys will have to look for it on your own time if you want to. But he was investing into blockchain, AI, and biotech. So this is DeSci. Biotech is DeSci. He was investing into AI, blockchain, and decentralized science. So it only made sense for the Binance firm, Binance Launchpad, to actually get involved with this. Now, you can actually go for the last couple of days. You could have gone and staked some of your bio tokens in a liquidity pool with BNB and actually received, or FDUSD, received more bio as a way to farm an airdrop for this and gain more attention. And this was something that this creator with 21,000 followers had posted about. The bio launch pool details. So the token bio protocol max supply is 3.32 billion bio tokens. The launch pool reward was 3% of the Genesis supply, i.e. just under 100 million tokens. Initial circulating supply, when listed on Binance Spot, is going to be 1.3 billion bio tokens, or 40% of the Genesis token supply. So that's pretty cool. We're seeing a massive influx of bio tokens available right at launch. So we're not going to have to worry too much about that inflation, but we'll touch on that a little bit more in a few moments here. And then they showcase the Ethereum token contract address. Now, one thing that's pretty fascinating, and which is also causing this explosion in popularity for bio, is that while they're launching initially on Ethereum, what we heard today on the Bio Protocol space that they hosted in preparation for TGE, they said that within the next week or so, they would be bridging to Solana and Base as well. So not only are you going to get Ethereum mainnet, which pays disgusting amounts in gas fees, but you'll also be getting access to the Solana liquidity and the Base chain liquidity. So this is very, very exciting to see. It's launching with max hype, it feels like. It's launching with max hype. Now, I want to touch on the tokenomics overview, or at least the protocol overview here for a moment as well. This is a good graphic here from Unich mainnet with 200,000 followers, showcasing that pre-market trading activity for the bio token is already up at 91 cents. Now, I am going to pat myself on the back here just briefly in showcasing that when we first discovered bio, it didn't exist. It was just an idea that we were speculating on. You could actually go see me talking about the token before we even had confirmation, right? Vincent, who is a core contributor with a lot of the bio ecosystem, gave a little bit of a sneak peek, a little teaser back in January, actually. But I bookmarked here when I full ported into the bio raise. So they actually were able to raise something like $33 million in total in pre-sales. And in the first round, in which we got to get in when the token price was down at like 3 cents, 2.5, 3 cents, I full ported in, and I told all of you guys that I was going heavy into this because I view bio as the index fund for decentralized science, the index fund for the BioDAOs, which make up a good chunk of the market. And now we'll get in a little bit more detail. I know there's so many things to cover in here, and hopefully you guys are enjoying this video. If you are finding value in this, please give it a thumbs up. I will put a lot of the links to everything in the description of this video so you guys can check it out as well. But when we went in and entered into this pre-sale for Bio, it was down at like 2 cents. And now we're seeing it in pre-market activities up at 91 cents. So you guys do that math. It is another massive W for the people who've been paying attention with me. Now, they're launching on Ethereum. They're backed by Binance Labs. They have a total distribution that looks like this, with 25% for ecosystem incentives, 21% for contributors, 20% for the community auction, which is what we just talked about moments ago, 13.6% for backers, 6% for community airdrop, 5% for the Molecule Ecosystem Fund, 5% for Molecule, and 4.2% for advisors. So I do want to just say, as a function of total distribution for DeSci, for projects in general, it is a little bit too heavily centered away from community tokens, in my opinion. We're looking at only 45% going to the community, and this 25% for ecosystem incentives is kind of malleable. It's up for interpretation. So really the only confirmed spot we have here is, or I forgot the community airdrop, is roughly 26% for community. So you could say technically it's 51% if you include all three of these categories as community, but you guys get what I'm saying. It's not the best distribution I've seen, but it's also not the worst. And I think with the hype that it's gathering, it literally doesn't matter. The category, of course, is DeSci. It is a launch pad for BioDAOs. The project is BioProtocol. Now let's go ahead and get into a little bit of the activities and explaining the broader ecosystem. Because if you've made it this far into the video, you obviously care about BioProtocol. This is just a more updated price at 95 cents now, the day before launching. So what actually is BioProtocol? I've done tons of videos on this in the past, but I want to showcase to you this one graphic which explains kind of all you really need to know to understand the basics of what's going on here. So BioProtocol is the launch pad for a series of biotech DAOs within crypto. Each one of these DAOs focuses in on a variety of different use cases, a variety of different research areas. For example, we have Vita DAO for longevity. We have Quantum Biology DAO, which was the most recent launch that they've had. I don't even think the token's live yet, but they finished fundraising for it where they raised like $6 million, which is nuts. And it's, of course, doing quantum biology. So the smallest scale of biology you can possibly do. They have Hair DAO, which has filed multiple patents, and they're focused on preventing hair loss and actually reversing hair loss. Valley DAO for the longevity of the planet. They're synthetic biology. We have Athena DAO for women's health. Not many people actually research women's health at all, despite them making up 50% of the population and doing almost all of the financial work for healthcare. There's not much research for it, so they have a DAO specific for that. They have cryopreservation, aka CryoDAO, in order to help with the longevity mission and actually be able to freeze different small mammals and potentially humans. They've actually done a few world first studies, which is crazy to see. And then PsyDAO, the silent sleeper one, in which they're researching psychedelics. They have two more which are coming, Curetopia for rare diseases and Long COVID Labs for studying long COVID. It is essentially BioProtocol, that is essentially the Y Combinator for BioDAOs, meaning they fund early startups for DAOs, for studying different niche areas within biotech that doesn't get funding, generally speaking, in the broader traditional scientific and academia markets. So they are helping get a bunch of different, how can I word this appropriately? They're helping get over what's called the Valley of Death. And I'll talk on this just briefly, but the Valley of Death is where you get this cool new novel idea for a drug therapy, for example. You get a good chunk of researching to create the initial proof of concept around a drug therapy and say this has some legs to stand on, but we need to research it a little bit further to fully understand the value proposition with this drug. And then it just goes to die. Nobody else wants to fund that research and actually get through that Valley of Death. And so what BioProtocol is doing is creating different BioDAOs with groups and communities focused on researching these potential drug therapies to bring us out of the valley of death and come to fruition. And a really good model, a really good showcase here is showing these IP tokens, IP NFTs, IPTs that a lot of the DAOs have created already. So all of these BioDAOs, which come from BioProtocol, go on and fund further research in these niche areas that they're focused in with the hopes of having a successful molecule or small molecule therapy, or it can be literally anything, come from this research. And in exchange, they tokenize the intellectual property, the IP behind that research, and it is owned by the community in the DAO. And there are already real world examples of this. I pulled up a couple here in my watch list. We have Hempy from HairDAO, Overia from Athena DAO, Biard from PsyDAO, I believe. And then we have VitaFast and VitaRNA from Vita DAO. There are a lot more of these IP tokens. For example, if I come over to Overia, it's IP NFT number 137. So there are hundreds of these IPs coming out and being from the BioDAOs. And there's a lot more that can happen with these BioDAOs. They can invest in equity in startups. They can invest in just individual one-off researchers. They can invest into whatever the community decides, which is beautiful about it. And what you get for holding the BioProtocol token is like an index fund. You get exposure to everything in the ecosystem. You also get to vote on proposals for new BioDAOs, which is a really cool token model in which you would be locking up your BioProtocol token to kind of vote on funding new BioDAOs. And I think the BioDAO gets $100,000 in exchange for 6.9% of the token supply, which goes back to BioProtocol, hence the kind of index fund system here. And then in the treasury of these BioDAOs is the IP tokens. Hopefully all of this is making sense. And that's what I mean with real world assets being just a single use case for decentralized science. And same with AI. We also just got sneak peeks of what's to come for BioProtocol. And Paul here, who was in that video I showed earlier, showcasing that they just onboarded an AI legend, Sean here, to join the Bio team in order to get some AI agents and AI to be used within the bio ecosystem to accelerate and advance a lot of what we're seeing when it comes to the actual science, either peer review process or finding errors in research or just being able to help simulate experiments. There's a lot of things that can happen. You guys know I'm very bullish on artificial intelligence and AI agents specifically for decentralized science. I'm going to shamelessly shill my AI agent here, which is Bill, the DeSci guy. He's an AI agent helping the broader community of people who are excited about decentralized science kind of understand and stay up to date on what's happening in decentralized science. You can see a post he made here the other day about Hempy. So Hempy, he got $200 worth of Hempy in his wallet, and he made a small little post here kind of explaining what the IP behind Hempy is. Hempy is from Valley DAO, and they found an enzyme which makes hemp slightly softer and more malleable so that they can make textile companies off of this patented, or I don't know if it's patented, but the intellectual property, which is tokenized through the Hempy token. It's pretty cool, but Bill is a resource for everyone involved in decentralized science because there's so many things happening. Like, it's an overwhelming amount of information. You need to have something that will help you sift through all of the information and know what you should pay attention to or not pay attention to. And honestly, if you're not paying attention to BioProtocol, I don't know what you've been doing for the last year, because this is one of the highest value proposition investments in all of crypto, in my opinion. This is the blue chip for decentralized science. There's 90,000 community members. There's $65 million plus in the bio treasuries, so distributed amongst these BioDAOs. And it's just getting started. The ecosystem market cap is over 200 million, and they've already funded $15 million worth of science research. Pretty crazy. They have a scroll wheel here, actually, of all the different funding that has happened from the BioProtocol DAOs. So everything is looking gorgeous right now for the launch here tomorrow. I'm very excited. Hopefully this was a good understanding of what is going on here with the Bio launch and why everyone is so excited. Again, just a quick little recap. Bio protocol, the Bio token, acts as somewhat of an index fund for the BioDAOs that are being launched from Bio Protocol's launchpad. Think about it like Y Combinator. Then these bioprotocols create intellectual property and invest in different science, whatever they want, whatever the DAO community wants to invest into. And it's all one giant ecosystem, which was so bullish that Binance Labs decided they would invest into, which kind of sparked the entire excitement rally or the mind share rally that happened for decentralized science. I believe right now the token is set to go live around $1 with 35-40% of the 3.3 billion tokens in circulation. And so we should see a pretty exciting launch. I'm trying to find here it is. Here's the supply schedule. So it'll go live with, it says just under $1 billion, but that post that we read earlier said it was going to be just over $1 billion from Binance. Either way, we're looking at a multi-billion-dollar market cap at launch. Your time is your most valuable asset. Hopefully this is worth investing it into. A bit of a longer video here today, and we barely scraped the surface of what's to come. I'll see you guys in the next video.